Hi guys, welcome back to In Between.
In Between with Mandy.
Yeah. Today we have Johnny Randall with us.
Hi.
He is our phantom dance captain, one of the two male ballet dancers, and also basically one of the girls.
I am one of the
Yeah, you're
girls.
always in our
One of the
dressing
gals, always in the
Okay.
dressing room.
Would you like to explain the role of dance?
Oh
Like
gosh,
about cut
someone asked me this
shows
the other
and
day. I
how to
tried
put
to
it
not
in a
waffle on.
sentence. Yeah.
The job of a dance captain mainly is basically you need to know the whole show, all the tracks. Every person has a track. Every person has their own set show that they do, and I need to learn all of those. Yeah, doing the covering every day. I share it between me and the resident choreographer, Ailish. Shout out, Ailish. And we do the covering, and that involves making sure when people are sick or on holiday or off, just making sure people know what they're doing, who they're playing, and then obviously here it happens a lot, and it happens in lots of shows actually, because I just think like once you have holiday, it's likely someone will be ill. And then it's just that just adds up eventually. Am I meant to be saying this to the camera or you?
I guess to me. Whoever you want.
Because I feel like you know
So
this information.
yeah.
So
That
cut
makes
shows
sense.
are then, when people are off, too many people are off, and then we don't have enough swings to cover those sorts of then the swings, and sometimes me or sometimes Ailish or sometimes members of the ensemble have to do different things they don't usually do. And noting the show, watching the show, rehearsing people, obviously teaching the show, teaching ballet bar, teaching warm-up. Here we obviously have more warm-ups than any other musical theatre show. Most musical theatre shows rehearse one, and it's like 10 to 15 minutes, full company. So that's everybody, no matter if you're like the dancer in the show, even like in Cats where our tracks were very high intensity, we still only had that one warm-up. So it was up to us if we wanted to do extra stuff. I remember like a boy in the cast would like do a ballet bar that wasn't set, or we didn't have to do that. So here is the first time where it's like a very much like a dancer section of the show, and we do a ballet bar every day. It's 12 warm-ups a week. And me and Ailish do it 6 or 6. Yeah. It's a lot of warm-ups, and then when one of us is away, it's 12 warm-ups a week. And sometimes I forget. Yeah, and sometimes I forget. Because like in a ballet company, which you know as well, like in a ballet company, you do ballet class every day. You rehearse, but then you could have most evenings off, because obviously their show schedule isn't every day. It's not all day, all year running in. They also have a summer break. Yeah. So then, like, so they do nothing that summer break, like 2 months. Some people obviously they do galas or whatever. Because of our continuous nature, sometimes that's when it adds up. And you're like, whoa, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, that's my job basically. I don't know if I explained that very well, but
no, that was very well explained. I understand.
You understand. You're here, so I'm glad you understand.
Oh, I actually drew something.
Okay.
It's of you and Eve, and it's like the beach because you love the beach.
Love it.
And that umbrella is like Mary Poppins.
Love it. Very cute. I'm not the best colourer.
That's fine.
Like when I was younger, I could never do it in the
able to
lines,
tell.
and like I would have friends, and they'd be like, "Johnny, how can you not do this?"
No
and I'm like,
colour.
I don't understand how I can't do it. I'm gonna go with the flow.
Well, on top of all the work you do here, you also go out a lot. You have like a good social life.
No, I don't. I swear. I do have a good social life. I do have a good social life.
Well,
I try to keep up
question
with
is because sometimes I go and then I like fall ill and I'm not okay.
And you think I just keep going?
Yeah, I guess. How do you like have great skin? Like you never fall ill.
I mean, the skin, like I had really bad acne when I was like 20, 21, 22, 23, probably like 4 years. And I really struggled with that because I never had it as a teenager. Like I was the one teenager where I was like, why does everybody have acne and I don't? Like I used to think I was like, phew, I've gone past this stage. Then I literally turned 20 because it was when I was in Vienna doing Cats, and then it literally hit me, and like it felt like just overnight I just got adult acne. So I've been to a dermatologist. I still go to dermatologists now. It's like an ongoing thing. The skin thing, like, thank you, but that took time. But my social life, I do have a good social life. I think with this industry, sometimes you feel like you have to choose very either or. And I feel like a lot of people choose to view it that way and choose to feel like when they're in the show, they can't do those things. Just for me personally, I think I can get quite wrapped up in this industry and it becomes quite consuming. And actually for me, spending time with my friends or going out or going to a music festival, going to a club, or those things sometimes just make me feel like I've got a bit of both because we do work a lot of days. We don't have weekends. Lots of people have Saturday, Sunday off. They have every evening off. So even if they wanted to have a little drink with their partner or their friends on a Wednesday night, they could, because they could be home by 10 still. But like, we just can't do that. So I think it is hard to juggle it. Like, I feel like I've learnt while being here that like, there's like a limit to, you know, how much I can socialize, because there are also periods of time in the show where I'm like, this isn't the best time to do it. So when we're rehearsing a lot, I tend not to. The hours are so much that like I don't have enough time to recover or like make sure that I'm still feeling good. You can't stop your life for a show. That's my opinion. I think you can focus on your show. You can really work hard. It can be a priority. But if it's the whole life, it's a lot. And I think it becomes too much that way. I think you enjoy your job less. I think you can find balance. And there's times where you're like, now's probably not the best time. But then like maybe a normal show schedule, if you go out after a double show, we'll be fine by Monday. In my opinion. Some people might disagree with me and say, no, I would never be fine. I always think maybe as a dancer it's different. Like maybe if I was in a singer role, the voice is such a small instrument. It's more delicate. So I don't think you can push as hard. So I do understand with singers where they're a bit more like, a bit more cautious maybe.
So you trained in Royal Ballet School.
Yeah.
How was that?
Is that the question? How was that? I loved it, but I think it's love-hate.
Did you always want to go to Royal?
I only started ballet when I was literally just before I was 10 years old. So I was late to the game. Well, not really. I think boys do start still even later now. And I think when they go to musical theatre college, I know boys that started dancing when they were 16. And then they go to musical theatre college when they're 19, 20. But obviously for a ballet school, it starts so young. So for Royal, I was late because really there were boys probably that started ballet when they were maybe 6. Because then they were probably more ready to go to Royal by the time they were 11. You know, like they had a few years. And I just, from the first lesson, I was like, I love this straight away. Wow. Literally, like I can feel the feeling now, which is so weird. Like I remember the first class. I remember how I felt. It's a very like prominent memory. And then afterwards, the teacher just said, because of my age, I think, she was like, he should audition for Royal. That's what he should do. I think because my age, and she probably knew like he probably only has a year to get ready to do that. So it was very fast track. Like now looking back, I'm like, I actually only did ballet for like 10 months. Wow. And within those 10, 11 months, I'd auditioned for Royal, got in, and I was going. So I really just sped up the process. In my county, I was taught by a woman called Linda Shipton, who was amazing. And she taught loads of boys that went to Royal. Like she was known in my county to be good for boys, because even Blake, our dresser, who was my part here in Phantom, he went to the Royal Ballet School and he was taught by her too. We're from the same place. And he also went to Royal and then English National Ballet. So she really was known for teaching boys and getting them into these vocational ballet schools. So I don't know if I always wanted to go there. I don't know, like, because I never heard of it before. Like, my dad was only into sport. My dad only watched sport. And like, my mum loved musical theatre and we went to see musical theatre shows, but never ballet. It was always musical theatre. So she didn't know anything about ballet either. But once I'd heard about it, I was like, yes. Because to me, that was like a dream. Like, I could go to a ballet school where all the boys do ballet. I'm not going to be different or weird. I went to a normal secondary school in my small town. Nobody went to ballet. Nobody did musical theatre, especially boys. Like school was tough before I went to ballet school. Like, you know, it wasn't nice. So I feel like that was like, sounded amazing. The fact I could go to a ballet school, none of the boys would like pick on me for doing ballet because we all did ballet. So I think it was more like the feeling of I was going to fit in really made me want to go, because I thought like there'll be a whole school doing ballet and there'll be boys 18 years old doing ballet. Like, so I'll be just normal. But yeah, the experience of Royal was, I want to say like, it was hard. It was, I don't want to say love hate. I don't think it's hate, but it's like, it's a very tough school. Like you went to ballet school. It's really tough. It's really hard on like a young person. It's very like intense. And I just left home. And suddenly I was just with these group of people that we all had to live with each other, eat, sleep, study normal school, do ballet training. Like everything was very together. But then it was competition. So obviously every year there's summer shows at schools and they pick one of you. They don't pick the others. some people are more liked than the other people, but you're still living together. But you just get so close with the people you go to school with. I mean, they're my friends for life, like definitely. Like that experience just connects you, brings you together, because nobody's going to understand the experience but them. It was an amazing school. I'm very, very lucky to have gone. Like it's an amazing achievement to have graduated from there as well. I think it was me and 3 other people that had made it from the beginning to the end. Like the year group had changed over and over again, and I'm very proud of it, but it was it was definitely hard. Like it does make you who you are, whether that's like, I don't want to say positive or negative, but some of it maybe I'd love to have not had that, because it's maybe there's parts of me that I'm like, oh, I wish I wasn't like that. And I think it's from school, because I don't think I was like that before. But then I feel like there's other parts of me where I'm like, they gave me that, and I'm really happy that they gave me those skills. Like I feel like, especially for the dance captain stuff, that school was great, because I feel like I'm always on time, always making sure I'm super prepared. I want to strive to be the best I can be and make sure I know everything to my full potential, like all that kind of stuff. That's from school. But then there's other stuff maybe where it's like, maybe I have more doubt in my mind because of school. Makes you doubt whether you can do it sometimes, because I think some teachers felt like if they gave you praise, you would stop working or something. But I never understood that, because I don't think I ever showed that that's what I would be like, or that was my personality, because I don't, and I never needed them to shout at me. But I feel like some of them felt like they always had to be tough. You're never good enough. You'll never be what we want. I think they felt like that's the way we're going to get the best out of you. But actually, I think if they'd just taken a step back and realised that actually they've got a room full of kids that really want to be good. And actually, if you just praise them every now and again, I don't think you should just say willy-nilly, you're great. But like when someone improves or that you see them working, it's okay to say, you're doing well at the moment. Like I'm happy with your work. Like that's enough. Like you don't have to say you're the best thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Like, but I feel like that's what they felt like they were doing. If they said good job, I think they thought in our heads we were going, oh, we're perfect then, non-stop. Do you know what I mean? You look back and you think, why? Of course I wouldn't think that. So I think that creates doubt. I spent 8 years of my life trying to be good enough for my teacher every year, trying to get some praise from them. If they never give it to you, I think by the end of the 8 years, it was kind of just like, oh, maybe it'll never happen. Like maybe I won't ever be good enough. And that is a thought that comes in, and I don't think they realise that is what happens. And that's not helpful, because sometimes you are good enough. And sometimes like what you have done is good enough, and you don't need to keep pushing and pushing. So that's, I think school I loved it. And I'm very proud to say I went to the Royal Ballet School. But there are definitely parts of me where I'm like that insecurity or that doubt or that need to strive for perfection, even when that doesn't exist and it's not possible. That's not great. Like, and I still am working now to be like, it's good. I'm good. We're good. People are happy with you. You're like, you can say, give yourself a pat on the back every now and again, and it's like, it's fine. You're not thinking you're like done now. It's like you can have both. Complicated school, so I feel like it's a complicated answer.
Such a cool experience.
It is cool.
Afterwards, you then auditioned for Cats. How did you make that decision?
I had a ballet company in Germany, and it was all ready to go. And this is one of those moments where I'm like, this was gut instinct, like fully. I just wasn't looking for places to stay there. I had no interest in doing it. Like, and every day I would put it off. I'd be like, I'll do it tomorrow. And I remember my mum being like, why do you keep putting this off? And I'm quite an organised person, so I would stress if that wasn't organised. I just wasn't. I was just like, I just don't know, like something isn't sitting right. And then I kind of realised, like, I think if I find a place, I feel like I have to go, and I don't think I want to go. It was a good one.
Is it the vibe of it?
No, it wasn't even that. It was literally just, I think I was done with ballet. Just by the end of the 8 years. I think I felt quite tired of the ballet like industry. I kind of felt like I want to change. I just want to try something different. And I remember literally maybe 2 days before, I'd said to my mum, I was like, I just feel like I want to do musical theatre.
Did you have friends doing music theatre?
I had Ellie Young, shout out, best friend. She was Meg here. She was doing Cats at the time. I think once she'd done that, I was like, oh, I'm like jealous. Like, I want to do that too. How I'm going to do it? Like, how am I going to get into it? I don't know. And literally 2 days later, Ellie texts me just saying, what would be something that you'd really like, or something weird, because I think she'd know I was going through this tough time of like, I don't want to go, and I think I'd mentioned musical theatre, and she was just like, well, my agent, who's my agent now, she wants to get in contact with you about a musical theatre audition. The timing of the fact that literally a couple of days before, over the weekend with Mum, I was like, I just don't think this is for me. And it just came. So I got in contact with my agent. I said, like, I'd love to try musical theatre. You know, I haven't sung in a few years because we sang in White Lodge. So White Lodge, like the lower school, from year 7 to 11, every week had singing lessons. Really, really great. But then when you got to upper school, obviously it was like, this is ballet and it's serious. So you cannot do anything else. So it just stopped. And she was like, okay, like, send me you singing. And it was terrible. I mean, I would dread to think what the voice, because I just sent her a voice note of me singing. I honestly dread to think what it was, because I just think I was like, just hadn't sung in so long. I mean, everybody who knows me at school would say Johnny sung in the shower every single day, because we roomed all together so they could hear me. I didn't care. I'd sing every day in the shower. But she was just like, you know what, that's fine. Find a very basic song that you can sing that's got a little bit of like a build, a bit of like, go for your range because you haven't really trained in a while. Like, don't go for anything too crazy. And then I went back to my old singing teacher that I had at White Lodge because I had her number randomly. And I just texted, was like, I'm doing this audition. Like, I know it's been like 4 years, but do you mind just having a singing lesson? So I just went to her house. She was an opera singer at the Opera House, and so was her husband. Like, they were proper opera singers. So it's just like, she'll just give me some basic tools to sing and feel like I've had one lesson and I've sung it with a professional, and they're like, that's good to go. That's basically what I was after. Because my agent just sent me the audition for Cats, which was going to Vienna. Allegedly, I bunked off school, and I just went to this audition. I had no musical theatre experience. I knew the Cats film because my sister, when she was like, I must have been 2 or 3, but I remember she would watch Cats every single day. The original Cats film, that 1980s film. So I knew the show and I knew the music. So I went to the audition, but I didn't know the actual West End show. I didn't know the choreography. Like, it turned up, all these musical theatre boys were there. I didn't even know really what it was for, what the track I was auditioning for. And the dance one was so cool. Like, loved it. As soon as I started, I was like, this is what I want to do. There was technique to it. It's Cats. There's a lot of technique to it. There's also a lot of freedom to it and a lot of like musical theatre jazz to it. Also then to have this whole other element to it of like being yourself, find that freeness, find that like letting go element I hadn't maybe had yet. It was like a click. I was like, this is what I wanted. This was perfect. So just auditioned. It was very quick. It was a 1-day dance audition. Oh no, it was 2 days. Sorry. We did the main bit of Jellicle Ball that we always do. It's called Copeland. It's a section in the show. So then I was asked to sing. I'd not sung in front of a panel. It was Chrissy Cartwright, Graham Herman, who is the musical supervisor for it. And he's I worked with him on Poppins, Mary Poppins as well. He does Starlight Express in Germany. He's amazing. When you go into auditions, you're meant to tape your sheet music so the pianist doesn't have to swap. Didn't know to do that, so I turn up in like this and it's individual pages. And I remember the pianist hated me. I remember I turned up and Chrissy said to me, she was like, are you in school with Ellie Young? And I was like, yeah, we're in the same year. And she was just like, okay, really nice. And I was just like, I feel like she's a little bit my side. They probably know I've gone to a ballet school. I've probably not sung since then. Felt like maybe they were going to be kinder. Like, so I sang my song. I was so nervous. I remember being outside the room, being like going over the words over and over and over and over again, because that was what I was most scared for. Because I hadn't opened my mouth in 8 years. You know, like, I went to a ballet school. Nobody, you don't talk in the performances. I only used this.
Was it okay though?
I think it went well for like the lack of experience I had. I remembered the words and they seemed pretty happy. So then I was asked back for the second day. And then the second day was more Mr. Mistopheles stuff. He has like a whole turn section where he does like turns in second. Then he goes into a manège around the stage. He does he does chaînés into a forward roll. It's like proper tricks. Me and some of the boys were called back for that. And then we sung again. But of course, like, I only had one song. I think they said bring 1 or 2 songs. And I thought, oh, well, I'll bring 1.
Yeah.
I don't even have one. I was like, I'm not going to learn 2. And I remember I had like a week to learn a song for the audition. So I was like, I'm not going to learn 2. And then the second day, because all these boys had gone to musical theatre college, their folders were about this thick.
The reps were like...
And they're all the reps. And they just like, you know, they probably had 3 or 4 songs to choose from. And they did a different one the second day. I went in and I remember saying to them, I was like,
it's the same one.
It's the same one. I remember being like, oh, I'm really sorry. Like, I only have the same one. And they're like, oh, it's fine. Don't worry. Like, I think they knew I probably would only have one song. So they weren't annoyed at all. And then they made me sing material. And we had to learn German for it as well.
Oh, wow.
Because the show is, all shows in Vienna are in German. You had to learn, there's like a poem at the start of the show of Cats after the opening. It's called The Naming of Cats. And it's like spoken word. But again, my opera singer who I trained with at school, her husband could speak fluent German. So then he sent me a voice note of it in German, of how to say it.
Oh my god.
And then I sung like the Mistopheles invitation. He has a little invitation thing. It's like probably a 30-second song to sing to kind of get everybody together before we start. I had to sing that as well. But again, like I didn't really know the tune. Like he just said, like, do you know the tune? I just said yes. Because I thought, I'm just gonna, because then as soon as he started playing on the piano, I was like, oh no, I actually do know the tune. I just didn't think I did. I was like, oh yeah, I do know this. So then I could just sing it and go along with it. So it was a very...
You went so well.
Look, I mean, surely if I went back now and if it was video, I'd probably go back and go, oh gosh, what was I doing? But like, I think for, a 19-year-old who had never done a musical theatre audition, I think Cats was just a perfect first experience because there was so much that was my element, but so much that wasn't. It felt like a positive experience because I was like, well, I was really good at that. But I just, I don't have any experience in this, so I need to build on that. But I think because there was so much that I knew I could do, it made it a positive experience. Again, long answer, but that is how I got into Cats in Vienna.
Being in your first musical theatre show at 19, what are some like unexpected challenges or like experiences?
I think doing the amount of shows we do every week.
Yeah. Did you do 8 shows?
We did 9 shows sometimes as well.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, but in Vienna they do doubles. So double Saturday, double Sunday. And that was really tough. So if we were in, say warm up is 1, I was probably in from 11 to do my makeup.
Wow.
And like some of my wig prep, do warm up in my wig prep, then go back down, retouch my makeup because I probably would have sweated a little bit of it off in warm up.
Yeah.
Retouch it, then get my wig on. So it was quite a lot of prep before the show starts. And also their Sunday shows were then earlier. So by the time you got home Saturday night, it just felt like 2 hours later, you're back doing the makeup again. I remember when we opened and had the premiere of Cats in Vienna, that I like messed something up. And I was so upset. And I remember my best friend, I remember her saying to me, Johnny, you will do this every day for a year. And it stuck with me because then I just thought, oh my God, you're so right. Why am I beating myself up? Tomorrow I'll do it again and again and again and again. And then that almost became addictive. And I kind of feel like I'm addicted to it now.
In what way?
In the fact that I just love the fact that every day if something goes wrong, I'm like, I can fix it again tomorrow. I can fix it tomorrow. I can fix it tomorrow. Again, there's probably the perfectionism in me because people are always like, how do you do it so many times? And I'm like, I think it's because every time I think, well, that wasn't perfect.
Strive for better.
And then that could be unhealthy. Or I just look at it sometimes as a thing of like, that's why maybe musical theatre suits me because actually I don't mind doing a monotonous show every day because I always feel like there's something I can make better, something I can make better. But that was probably the biggest challenge, was learning what it was like to do a year and do the show every single day.
Yeah. You've been in 3 Cameron shows.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. How do you feel like the energy differ between them?
I mean, they're very different. I think they've all got similar elements. I think Cameron shows always are big production, big casts. There's always dancing in it and like good dancing and quite hard choreography. I feel like Cats was physically the most demanding. When you're in it, you have to be in it because it's just it's really hard and the stamina is hard. Mary Poppins was amazing and that was the most musical theatre show I'd done. All different dance elements, like tap was in there. Tap is in Cats, but it's like, it's very short, whereas Poppins, like, it's a big tap. And I was stood there like, how am I gonna do this? But I think that I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the fact that I was like a show where I was like a normal human being. Like, because I've been a cat for like 2 years, 2.5 years, like crawling around. And then I feel like this show has differed because of the dance captain staff. I think this has really pushed me like mentally thinking about the show as a whole. Because every other time we've done a show, I was my part. I was only turning up to work for myself. I never thought about anybody else. Like, not in a selfish way, but just in a, well, my job is to make sure I'm doing my job. That's my job, the end. Whereas I feel like every day you think of people as a whole, the show as a whole, like you're looking for everything, little things. And that's really pushed me that way because sometimes that's hard, like to see everything, trying to take it all in is hard to do. But I think it's also been different to go back to ballet again because this feels like back to my roots almost, or like back to what I know more of. So yeah, that's how I different. And we had to relocate.
That's
Just lighting us up.
Yes.
How do I get dance
Did
captain?
you get referred or?
I feel like in the audition for Phantom, I feel like Ailish and I had like a good vibe because I think she'd shadowed my partner when he was the assistant resident choreographer on Poppins and I was in the show. I had met her a couple times in Poppins. Then I just remember saying to my agent like, oh, you know, like with Phantom, I think this is like a good show for me to try being an assistant dance captain and trying that job.
You wanted to.
So I wanted to do it. A couple of days later, my agent said, actually, they rang me and asked if you wanted to do it. And I said yes, and I was so excited because I thought this is the perfect show for me to try. Again, the ballet element,
the dance is
knowledge of it.
so
Yeah, and I just think like knowledge element of know what ballet is meant to look like. And then obviously I didn't know the detail of like, we would teach managers and things like that with like, which is such an acting scene, but because here Gillian choreographed or staged managers, it's part of the dance department's role to teach it. And it was an element of something that I wasn't familiar with. So again, it's pushing me in a way where I'm like teaching actors how staging something is so different to teaching choreography again. So yeah.
Well, I guess to wrap up.
Yes, the end. I love this little change in setting. Go again.
What are you working on now, and what would you like to do in the future?
We're working on now 40th anniversary. Busy. Big things. Super exciting. And what would I like to do in the future? I'd love to do another show, do more shows as dance captain. I'd love to build on that. It's such a fun job. And very, very rewarding. When you're teaching people and you see them respond or you're giving notes and you see it's so rewarding. So I really do love that part of my job.
Wait, I never asked you what Helen asked.
Oh, you didn't
As
ask
like
the question.
a young dance captain, how do you manage people who are more experienced and like older?
In the beginning, I found it quite, what's it called? Imposter syndrome. I shouldn't be giving them a no, or do I know it? Or like I had to be 100% sure that what the note I was giving was right, because I felt like they would know so much that they would say like, oh, I don't think it's that, and they might be right, and I'd be like, oh no, I'm wrong. Like, so it was a lot of like doubt of it. People we work with worked for so many years and they've had so many jobs. When I joined here, I was 24. I hadn't done the show before. It felt like quite a big task to get to the point where I was like, I know what I'm doing. But that takes time. It did take time. Honestly, they've all been great. I've not had any bad, like, I've never felt like I've given them a note and they're like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about because you're too young. They've always respected what I said. But like, also feel like I took this role and felt like actually this is time to learn from them as well. I realized like these are proper actors. With this kind of stuff, I may not know as much as they do. So just learn, because actually they're just giving me knowledge of like, that's how you know an actor. There needs to be a reason. There needs to be a reason for their character. There needs to be a story. There needs to be a through line from how we're getting from A to B. It can't just be go there. But again, like I wouldn't think like that because I've just been taught my whole life, if I tell you to do something, you do it. And I just do it. I don't even ask. So I think that was really interesting. I think I just took it more of a learning experience. Yeah, like we've got iconic people in this show. Like seriously, you look at their CVs and you're like, wow, they've done so much. And like I think I just took the experience I had and the school I went to, and I wouldn't be here if Chrissy or Ailish or didn't think I could do it. So I think you just have to believe in the fact that people that make these decisions, they know what they're talking about. I think I just had to trust in that and kind of ignore the imposter syndrome. With them, I just tried to really take in what they had to say and what their ideas, because I thought, you know, they've got so much experience that I don't have just yet, but that's just life and age, isn't it? It's just like the more you're in it, the more you learn, the more you grow.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a big achievement that your dance captain's so young.
Thank you.
And you're so nice to us. So it's nice to have
I'm
you.
glad you say that I'm so nice. Some people say I'm sassy. But...
Oh,
thanks, Mandy. Thank you. I don't know if we went to wave at the camera. Bye. Oh, this is like my Ailish's tutorial. Yeah, and we just couldn't say goodbye. We kept laughing. Thanks, Mandy.
Oh, thanks for giving me your time.
I didn't finish the curry.
That's okay.
That was very nice. I hope that change of scenery, it might be a bit weird, but oh well. It would just be a different part of the building that people will get to see.